G'day, Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. It's episode 52 of the podcast. Welcome to Timmy on the screen. He's a passionate Bulldog supporter. He's been wanting to come on for a little bit, and there's quite a few of you now messaging me saying you want to come on, and I made the call out, anyone who wants to come on, and Timmy says he wants to come and have a chat and talk about the Bulldogs, and what a time to do it. How you going, Timmy?
Very good, mate. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Why is that?
It was a great win on the weekend. Very good win. Yep. I went to Canberra Raiders and soaked into the atmosphere. Everyone was chanting the Bulldogs, every time they scored. Yep.
So you watched it at the Leagues Club?
I did.
So what was it like there? Because at Suncorp Stadium, it was like the Canterbury Leagues Club.
It took over. As I was watching the game, and I was like, man, that was like there's more Bulldogs fans than the Broncos fans.
Well, you know what I'm annoyed about? There was 8,000 Broncos members who didn't go.
Yeah, they knew that they were going to lose before they got there. Sorry, I'm giving it to the Queensland team. I don't like Queensland teams.
Well, me either, mate. I've penciled in the Dolphins. Look, I've supported the Cowboys like they were the Bulldogs in the grand final against the Broncos because of Thurston. Yeah. But, and if an underdog Queensland team was playing and we didn't make it, it depends who they're going against. But, you don't want to see sustainable success for any Queensland side.
Before the season kicked off, I put the Titans down the bottom with the wooden spoon. Main reason was Hazlitt was coaching them. That's the only reason.
Oh, there's still technically a chance, and I think they're going to cause some problems for some teams on the run home.
They are. Yep.
G'day, Scary79, up the mighty Bulldogs. Mike Cool, how you going? Hope everything's well, mate. You know it's well. It's a week after smashing the Broncos. Howdy, Dave. How are you, mate? And I just met the Fox at Canterbury Leagues Club. Bro is taller than I thought. Yeah, he's bigger and taller than what people realise, the Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to show it. He's been named in the side, so he's been missing for a while. It's good to have him back.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about Fox and Critta and whether they'll play. I'm still not 100% convinced that he's going to play, but the fact they've put him there on the photo on the official website, he's wearing the honorary 2004 jersey. Yeah, he's probably going to play, but I'd say Critta would be more likely to play than him.
We're certainly blessed in the outside backs at the moment. Wilson, Skelton, they've been carving it up.
The boys can attack. Bloody oath they can, Dave. And I've been defending that attack all season. It's an evolution. They had to get the confidence in defence. They got that. Starting to bring in, players like Sexton, and then evolving what they can do and using everyone's strengths. And what an ambush! The Broncos thought they were going to have a grind-a-thon. They thought the Dogs were going to come out and try and grind with them, and they set themselves up for that, and just didn't know what happened when we started just going shifting from edge to edge. They had no idea. How you going, Pete? I thought you would have run out of puff Nick after 3 hours last night. Well, it was Sunday, mate. I had a rest. I'm backing up, mate. Just like if Critta can back up after Origin, I can back up after the 3-hour podcast, mate.
Professional. They're professional. Ultimate professional.
Pete says, g'day, Tim.
G'day, Pete. I know a lot of Peters, by the way. My brother's name is Peter.
He's obviously a good bloke. Pete Noonan's a good bloke. Pete Webber's a good bloke.
I have a mate that goes to the Dragons. He's a good bloke.
I think there's some... Oh, he couldn't be too good of a bloke. It's not Dibbo on the other podcast. I actually like Dibbo. I reckon he knows more about the Bulldogs than Abdul, to be honest.
Absolutely.
He gets it right, mate. That's why I watch it.
He gives me a laugh. Yeah.
Abdul makes me laugh, out loud. But I really like Dibbo. I think he's I think they've got a good chemistry, those two. Really good.
Yeah.
G'day, Mark. You come on to have a whinge about Blake Wilson not being picked.
Wilson! Where are you, Wilson?
Hope we can smash the Raiders. I want revenge. So do I, mate.
100%.
So do I.
No green and eggs for him this
so
week.
Annoying. How annoying are they?
Very annoying. The Viking clap. Still remember the 2016 final.
Look, if we win that game, do you reckon the boys are going to go in the sheds and Liam Knight's going to come in and start going?
I reckon.
I loved what they did.
Michael Ennis, he's the best.
Oh, that was funny when he was playing for the Sharks.
100%.
Mark's here to give me grief. Nah, it's all love, Mark. You keep me honest, mate. Belmore sold out a couple of weeks ago. I
wonder the many that's going.
And guess what? The Warriors have sold out for the rest of the season. That's phenomenal. Big shout out to them, even though, and that they've been selling their tickets like even this week. That's phenomenal. Like, I think that's a record for any club to sell out every game of their season. So
they keep saying they're mathematically a chance, you know.
I think they are. I think they are.
Those teams, like from 5th down to I think about 12th, they're all chances at the moment.
Yeah. Well, if the Raiders win, they go to 23 points, and a team like the Dolphins lose, who are sitting 8th, they're only 1 point ahead of them.
Yeah.
It's Canberra lose. That means they're only going to be 1 point ahead of them as well. And then if we lose, all that, each game's worth 4 points. The way it turned out.
It's very stacked at the moment. Yep.
Mike says, I'll give it up. The Raiders are a gritty team. D says, I want the Viking clap. The Raiders all the way. He wants the Viking cap. I can't even talk.
Back to
the Raiders
Canberra.
all the way back to Canberra.
I agree. We'll beat the drums.
I hope we get audio out of Ricky's full-time speech. How disappointed he was that they didn't turn up for Papali or Papali's 300th game. I'd love nothing more than for that to be the outcome.
Yeah.
Mark, it puts a 4-point gap in between the team. If there's a 2-point gap, it's worth 2 points either way, which is 4 points. Just so you know. Can we actually win the comp, Dave? Well, what do you think, Tim? Can we win the comp?
I'm thinking we can still probably make it through to the prelims, but yeah, that's as far as we'll get this year. That's my prediction.
I can't have people saying that. It's all good. No, honestly, mate, if anyone would have told you at the start of the year that you're going to make the prelim, you'd tell them, you take it every day of the week.
I think it depends on where we finish. It depends on where we finish, I guess. Yeah.
Michael, we'll elaborate a little bit on that throughout the podcast. We won't be going for 3 hours tonight. I can assure you of that. Mike says 100% the stars are aligning. Pete says, and a good comment here, Pete, if anyone thinks this is going to be a walkover, you have another thing coming. Got some feedback coming through there. Have you got the TV on there, Timmy?
Yeah. Sorry, I'll shut the door. I'm in the spare room.
That's all right, buddy. D agrees with Pete, and so do I. The 2024 theory is real. Got to lose one to win one, generally speaking. The stats are aligned this year, though, I must say. Yeah, well, that's one of the theories, Mark. But guess what? The people have been losing one haven't been making the finals the next year.
Look at the
That's been
Broncos.
one of the issues. Dave says we've already won it. They just don't know it yet. Already loving the amount of comments coming through, guys. That's fantastic. All comes down to the team on the day, but the Dogs are in with a fighting chance. Come on, Timmy. Mick demands excellence. Yeah, excellence. Standing outside in the cold, smoking durries.
A schooner in your hand and a smoking in the other hand.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's so many things aligning. We break Penrith streak like Paras in the 80s. But all right, let's get to you a little bit, Timmy. I want to tell me, when did you start following the Bulldogs? What tell me about your history of being a Bulldog supporter.
Sure. Well, from an early age, I've been blessed to have my mum's parents. They used to take me to games.
Yep.
I was from early as 1998. I remember the old, of course, stadium being Stadium Australia.
Yeah.
There was a bigger attendance, especially when it was before the 2000 Olympics.
Yeah.
They had 100,000 capacity. Yeah.
109,000, yeah.
Yeah, it was big, very big. I remember going to like the Warriors were in their old red Vodafone jerseys. They come and play us at Stadium Australia.
Yep.
Dale Halligan was our goal kicker. I always liked goal kickers. I played for Canterbury. We've had some good ones over the years. I've always been drawn to our goal kickers, our wingers. Haswell Masri. He shares the same date as me for my birthday.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah,
must be. But not the same year. Yeah. So I've always been drawn to our goal kickers. I remember meeting Steve Mortimer in 2017. That was
wow, mate. Yep.
That was really special.
Was that at a game, was it?
It was before a game, yeah. The Broncos Bulldogs game in 2017. Can't remember what round it was, but we ended up winning in that game in the wet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go to games whether it's raining, hail, shine. Yeah.
My last game.
I was a member in 2008. Probably wasn't one of our best years, but I was a member in 2008.
We weren't too bad, but the Sonny Bill thing just destroyed us.
It did stuff us up, yeah. But I remember 2009 being a good year, just short of the grand final. 09, 2012, 14, all those years, being just short of the grand final. Yeah.
Oh, mate, we've had some good years, and winning premierships isn't easy, mate.
It's been lean the last 7 years, but I can stick with them through thick and thin. Yeah.
And I can tell, mate. I've read a lot of your comments. You articulate yourself well. You're always supportive, and you're fair to everyone's opinions and comments. And it's really, really good. It's good to have.
I got my cat. I got my mum's cat.
All right.
That's Tilly.
G'day, Tilly.
She's come to join the podcast. But because I've grown up in Penrith, I would say I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Penrith. But yeah, from '98 is when I started following Canterbury. Yeah.
Well, you chose wisely, mate. It's hard not to respect the Panthers and where they've come, and sort of, I talked about them a lot because they've been a great case study for everyone. If you're studying, I think most of the study happens on the Panthers system, the Storm system under Bellamy, what Wayne Bennett does, and that sort of stuff. But with Canterbury, it was all about what Peter Moore used to do.
Yeah.
But, it was different times. He could just go out and buy anyone he wanted pretty much, and he used to go and find talent wherever he could find it. It's a bit different now. There's a lot more competition to get players from wherever they are, but I still think there's a lot of talent out there. I still do. So,
especially with the way the game's evolving, with more expansion happening. I believe the next team will be in Perth. I believe that's correct me if I'm wrong.
There's a recent push saying that Dean Ritchie went over there, and I think he might have been getting a few bucks to promote the PNG bid, basically saying it's a done deal and it's going to happen and it's likely to be the next one, but by 2027 they reckon.
Again, look at the Dolphins, what they've done in the space of 2 years, or just less than 2 years. They're already in the top 8. Could possibly still finish top 4. If things go their way. And they're taking a game over to Perth this weekend against the Roosters, so it's a good way to promote the game.
I think the good thing with Perth and the good thing with Redcliffe, and I'll call them Redcliffe because that's their club and they have a rich history. So they actually have people who are dedicated to the cause, and they can build off that. It's not just some franchise that's created out of nothing sort of thing. And if you're going to do that, you've got to get the right people involved to win the hearts and minds. It's not easy, but I think if the Perth bid takes the North Sydney Bears over there, that they've got enough juniors in WA in the area that they've got where they can actually really build on that. Yep. So, and I think having that fan base of Silent Bears supporters will only help them.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at. G'day, Adam. How you going, mate? Stefano's coming to the Bulldogs. Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah, I think we need a big bopper. I'm happy either way. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We will talk about that, Adam. You told us we'll be in the top 4. You did, mate. You said that a long time ago. Mark says he'll take 5th. Happy with 5th. I'll be happy with 6th. Mike Cool says the last time Australia got 1st and 2nd in Olympic swimming final was 2004.
This superstitious stuff again.
The same year the Dogs last won the comp, Australia just got 1st and 2nd in Olympic swimming final. Stats are aligning, Mike. The stats or the stars. I reckon that was a nice play on words there, Mark.
Stars are aligning.
Mark's the stats guru.
Yeah.
Unless they don't sort of play to his agenda.
Liam Knight's been playing reserve grade lately, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. He went up with the boys last week, so Powasa got to have a run because he'd been 19th man a couple of times. So Liam was the one who actually started the
Broncos dance.
Yeah. I love it because I hate that dance when they score, man. When you're at Suncorp Stadium, Lang Park, your team's going all right, and then the Broncos score. Like I went there during COVID when Jacob Kraz made his debut. There's about 4,000 fans there.
That was a special night for him.
Hey?
That was a special night for him. It was a special occasion.
We looked good that night.
Yeah.
That was, that could have been anything that night. And they ended up running away with it at the end.
I think the telling point back then was they had the class. We didn't have the class. They had Reynolds. His kicking game hurt us.
I think we're up. The Fox got 2 tries to start the game. So, and we looked really good. And, then Corey Oates ran. They had a set move running off the scrum. I remember it clearly. And then, they did those little chip kicks in behind and scored 2 or 3 tries doing that. Like, it was just arsey.
Cobbo hurt us on that edge too.
But Yeah, Liam Knight, he'll be off contract at the end of the year, and I don't see him being re-signed, to be honest, if we get like a Stefano Oitikimanu and stuff, and with the people we've got to keep, he'll be one that doesn't make it. He tries hard. He just makes too many mistakes. So I'm having trouble with the audio there. Can you still hear me, everyone?
All good.
Oh, good. Mark Connolly's busy mocking the Broncos. Much love to you, Adam, as well, mate. You, Perth. Oh, Dave, you're in Perth, aren't you, mate? PNG's coming, Prime Minister backing it. Yeah, well, I think it's not a bad... The way that they're selling it, I think it's not bad for many reasons. I don't think it'll... if a team gets off the ground and does well there, it's going to be good for rugby league. It's worth a shot. Got a bit of feedback coming through your mic there, Tim.
1 second. Yeah.
That's better. What's that from?
TV in the background. My mum's out in the living room. Yeah. I was searching, turn it down.
Oh, it's all right now. It's all right now, mate.
Can you turn the TV down a little bit? Thank you.
It's all good, brother. Thank you so much for that, mate.
That's okay.
Scary says PNG with the next team in the comp. Albo said so. Hey, mate, how's it going, Burko? Welcome. Mike says Dolphins have one of the hardest draws towards the end of the season. They deserve to make the top 8, let alone the top 4, if they win most of their games. Yeah, you'd think so. They do have a tough draw on the way home.
Starting this week, really. It's a big travel to go into Perth and coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they've only won 2 of their last 8. They've been really, courageous though.
Competitive.
With the amount of people with blood. But as I said, they've got a lot of history in that club, and there's but I think they'll fall away. Hit that like button again. Oh, thanks, Ozzy. Thanks, Adam. Should do the Broncos dance at Belmore, 100%. Burko's looking forward to seeing the Fox back in action. Yeah, it's a funny dance. Oh, we've got a lot of chat on here. Everyone can hear me. We're all doing well, Adam. No one will want to live there, Burko says. Well, we'll see what happens, mate. We'll have to see what happens. I don't like feedback, Mick. I love feedback, Mark. It's fantastic. You made him tell his mum to turn it down. That's right. So let's get into it. D says, I don't think Ciro trusts Knight and Pawasa to do a job. Plenty of opportunities for them throughout the year to come in, but Ciro's gone for youth. Yeah, I think he's really what's your thoughts on that, Tim?
I think we need some size on the bench. We do need some size on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, you think I tend to agree. Probably can't have both at once, though, the way it's gone. And I've noticed he's often left a big bopper on the bench and not playing him any more minutes just to keep those other guys out there to keep tackling.
Hopeway hasn't seen a lot of minutes, but we do need some size off the bench.
I think it'd be a good idea to talk about Hopboy and Harry Hayes tonight as well. I think Harry's got. I think Hopboy's done nothing wrong, hasn't dropped the ball at all. But I think I think there's something about the kid because I like the way he had some adversity at the start of the year and fought back. Talked about that on the weekend. But Harry sort of tried to make things happen both defensively. And he tried to get an offload away as well. There's something about Harry Hayes that I really like, and he's just another one which you go, oh, how do I fit him into the team? Who do we throw out? It's just every week we've got a new player we've fallen in love with.
Yeah, I like Eli Clark. He's another guy that hasn't had an opportunity this year in first grade, but. He's knocking down the door, I reckon, every week.
Cyril doesn't like big boys with single efforts. See you, Stefano. I wouldn't call Stefano a single effort guy, but anyway.
Well, we did miss out on Payne Haas at one stage. I just feel like he's someone that we could have that extra leg speed in the middle. He has that footwork as well.
He does have some footwork, and he's got a bit of
an offload in him as well.
He's got an offload in him, and he can get a bit aggro as well. I think it's all going to come down to do they unlock him, and I know for a fact Gus isn't going to entertain any player option stuff when it comes to anyone at our club. And one thing we know with Gould, he's good at finding homes for players. If they need another home, if it's not working out at Canterbury. I just want to say a big thanks to Sayed. He's living abroad, but you're going to the Dragons game, is that right? And he's just donated another $10 with a super thank you. So thanks so much, mate. You don't have to do that.
I will also be at the Dragons game.
Oh, you got tickets? It's sold out as well.
I don't know. Has it sold out?
Yeah, it's sold out. You can't get a ticket anywhere in town.
No, we got tickets for the Dragons game. Yeah.
Be careful there, man. I've just got this feeling.
It might be an ambush.
I don't know. I just got a feeling that some fans aren't going to be happy, and I just don't know which side of the fence they're going to be on. I just hope there's no Jamal Idris, Jamie Soward issues happening there like in 2010.
Oh,
yeah. All things Bulldogs, I'm hoping the rest of the regular season games have the same attacking flair and we take that into the finals. From there, it's a slug with the top 4 teams. I'm glad you mentioned that, mate, because Pete Noonan asked me on Sunday whether he thought that who could do some damage outside of the top 4, just say the Bulldogs don't make the top 4. And I went through all the teams and you look at their rosters and stuff and you would say, yep, these teams could do damage. But the only team that looks like a top 4 or top 5 side with the way they play, with what they've shown across the whole season, is the Bulldogs. To me, they're probably the Knights or the Warriors of last year.
Yeah.
The Knights did a job on the Storm at pretty much at full strength towards the end of that year. They showed they could compete. Going over to Auckland was too hard, though. But and I think they would have got done in the next game anyway. But I don't know. I think we can be that team, and who knows? Because Penrith aren't the same team. They're not. They can't be. They can't be. They're not. They just can't. They're a little bit off. I think Storm are the ones to beat, and I don't think the Roosters will lose another game before the end of before the finals. So you can pencil those 3 in for the top 3.
It's the attack of the Roosters that's helped them more than their defense this year, I feel.
Yeah, well, they've had a couple of games where they've conceded some big scores, like against
on the
us.
weekend. Like on the weekend against Manly, 30 points,
What about Luke Keary? 3 intercepts he threw.
Yeah.
Pack his bags.
Yeah. He's already retiring at the end of the year, so
Well, he's going to France now. He's actually not retired. He's going to France.
oh, there you go.
He wants to go there now and watch a bit of Olympics. Adam's trying to find a place to run in Belmore or Canterbury. If anyone knows, let him know. And go jump on and subscribe to his channel. That's right, all good, mate. We'll have a good time at the Dragons game. You might see Tim there, buddy.
With my Dragons, mate. My mate that goes to the Dragons.
Saeed's coming from overseas to watch it, so it's he's loving it.
There you go.
Pete says, thanks, Saeed, for joining the group. All things Bulldogs, most welcome. Yeah, and that's anyone who's on the podcast. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, come do so. Invite any Bulldogs friends you want to come along. We don't if people get on that group and start slandering players or the coach, we just say, see you later. We're a constructive criticism, supportive type page and group. So that's where it's at. Mike says he thinks the Broncos game was a big statement of why we'll be a top 4 team. A team every year at the back end of the season always goes on a run towards finals that surprises everyone. What do you think, Timmy?
It's hard to predict, really. And as you said, every game is a do or die game, really. I'm kind of on the fence here.
And that's all right, mate. It's a genuine question and you want to give a genuine response. So it's all right to be on the fence with it. Look, I think I love what Cameron Serrato said the other day, and I think many fans can listen to that. He says he's not worried about outcomes. He's worried about performances. And if you go out there and you play well, it's funny because I was watching Cobra Kai, which we were talking about, and Daniel LaRusso said the same thing to his daughter as what Cameron Serrato said. And I wonder if he got that from Cobra Kai and just reworded it. It's, go out there and give it your best. And if you've done that, you get closure because you've given it all you can give. I think with the side, it's a case of, fans want to sit there and say, we want this amount of wins this year as a minimum, which never works because you win those amount, and if you fall short, there's still going to be criticism. It's a case of it's just a case of if the players, if you're a coach who's playing, trying to get continuous, sustainable improvement out of your side, out of the club, out of the whole structure and the whole system, week on week, day by day, minute by minute, then eventually you build it and they will come. You know what I mean? The results come, the outcomes get there, and I really love that. Yeah,
I will add. I feel the defense. That's a big tick for me. Already. Yeah, we've come so far since last year with the defense. And defense wins your comp. Penrith for the best at the moment, but we're not far behind them defensively. It's just our attack needs a bit of clicking. It did that on the weekend. I feel that we're not far away. From really, the attack is going to keep getting better. If you thought that was what we did on the weekend was just the start of it, wait till we get to the finals. If we do get there, I believe we will get there. I hope we're not making up the numbers. Top 5, I think we definitely can finish 5th if we can win 4 out of the remaining 6 games we've got. Then we definitely will finish top 5.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be hard to predict us winning them all. But I can see all these scenarios playing out. There's so many. Mark says Melbourne will be the team to beat. Penrith will be thereabouts. Roosters will fall away. Maybe. Adam says, thanks, mate. Don't forget about my second channel, Adam from Australia. So get on all the channels, guys. Mike believes Melbourne's probably our easiest opponent. Now Mike, when we look at I don't know if you call it the pub test or whatever, so you take stats out of it, take score lines out of it, and you look at the way teams play and what they produce. I've looked at Melbourne all year and gone and have not been impressed, except for the latter position, which has them 2 or 3 wins clear. And you look at their roster and you go, well, they've been missing half their spine for most of the season. So if they get all those players back, you cannot help but think that they are going to be very hard to beat because they've teams that do it. But who knows? If I think they need to go to that next level or they won't. They need to improve their actual performance. I think the coach is worried about their performance. But, God, they're in a good position. Adam thinks we can win all of our remaining games 100%. And we've got the second best D in the competition. Timmy agrees with me, 5th. Well, it must be right then, Mark.
We need to beat. I think we win out the final 2 games at home. We've got a good record at home this year. So we've got Manly, Cowboys in the last 2 rounds. We should have ideally beaten the Cowboys a fortnight ago. But we've got the worst referee in the world in that game, didn't we?
Adam, I don't know, mate. If people want to watch it, they'll watch it. If they don't want to watch it, they won't watch it, buddy. But I can understand that. But, yeah, just like the Bulldogs, we're not for everyone, are we, Adam? Only for the – but, let's talk about the Canberra Raiders game coming up. But before I do, there's something I want to say about the Broncos game. There's something I want to say about it. I think the reason I haven't written the Broncos off is because I just think they were absolutely shell-shocked on the weekend. I don't buy into that there's all this problem with their prima donnas and hard work and all this sort of stuff. I think they went there expecting a Canterbury side that was winning by 1 point, losing by 2 points, winning in Golden Point, that was missing Critta, that was missing Max King, and they thought that team was going to turn up in the daytime and try and go head-to-head and grind it with them. And next minute, what happened? They were behind 12-0. We had momentum. We had confidence. We turned them away quite easily. Their main players felt a little bit, they couldn't believe it because they were making, Carrigan and Huss were making good ground. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they're down 16-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even Reynolds made some uncharacteristic mistakes with his kicking, like dropouts and short kicks. Yeah.
Yeah, it just all. And as Mark and I said it last week, the day game, we thought we were going to run over the top of them. That was a scenario Canterbury were going to win. Mark thought we'd get, win 28-16 or something like that, I think. But yeah, no one could say they thought we were going to win 40-16, and we shouldn't have even conceded 16 points. But then it's straight away, Bert clogged it on the side, and he's going to cost us the victory and all this sort of stuff. How fans, man, they lose it. Well, I love Canterbury fans, but it's also annoying at the same time. Just start talking down our best players as soon as something goes wrong.
I will say that play just before half time, I thought it was something that we could have taken under the arm and given it to them on their line. But they can score from anywhere, as you can tell. They were known for that. Even in last year's grand final, they did that.
Well, that Katoni Staggs has just got a hell of a lot of determination. He scored quite a lot of tries like that. I just think and then they had a couple of good moments, but it didn't bother us. We just kept playing footy and kept doing what we do for 80 minutes. And I think that's what gives everyone the confidence as Bulldogs fans right now. They know they got a team that won't be outworked, that's going to go out there and try and, do its absolute best for 80 minutes. What do you think?
100%. Curran has definitely stepped up in the absence of King as well. He definitely was almost the difference last week in the winner. If we had won it against the Cowboys, he would have been very close to, if not the man of the match in that game.
Yeah.
Curran, yeah.
Yeah.
But even on the weekend, he delivered again, in spades. He really laid a
he's our buy of the year for sure.
Yeah.
I put him number one. And I put Critta a very, very close second because he's exceeded my expectations. But as I said, Critta didn't impress me at all. I could see, he's a great athlete and things just happen when he's around the ball. But when he started tackling in New South Wales State of Origin last year in the series we lost, his defence in that series was just a cut above everyone else. And that's when I started to get excited. Adam says the Canberra game is going to be a hard test. He reckons we'll win 16-12. A team that won't beat themselves, the Raiders. A little bit like us, Mark. A little bit like us. And they've won the last 9 against us, Timmy.
Yeah, they have a good record against us.
I've watched them beat us twice, 2 or 3 times in Magic Round.
I've been to a previous Belmore game between Canberra and the Dogs, and they beat us then too. So I hope there's not hope there's no repeat of that.
Was that when we were leading them at Belmore?
22.8 was the final score. Hopper Whitey was playing for us at fullback.
No, it wasn't that game. I remember when we had them beaten. Reese, I think, what was his name? Reese Martin was playing and kicking the goals. And
yes.
we had the game won. We'll
Terry Leilua. Yep, I remember that game. We should have won that game. Yep. I think that was the year after that.
Yeah. How you going, Paulie? I think we can win the comp, but I think either Melbourne or Penrith will. If we finish in the 4, then our chances go up. Mark says, go sub. I don't think we need a week off. It would be detrimental. No, it usually isn't. Look, it's all about circumstance. No one's won from outside of the top 4 since they brought in the NRL. Balmain Tigers made the grand final from 5th place. The Raiders won it from 4th place, which I think were the first team to win it from outside the top 3. In 1989, Bulldogs in 95 finished 6th in a 20-team comp and a top 8. And we played sudden death the whole way through and won the comp. So it's, it's going to happen one day. There's a team going to win it from outside the top 4 at some point. And I think Canterbury are the side which, the way they play, they're going to be in the game. It's going to take a very good side to get out of our reach sort of thing, the way that we're playing, the confidence we've got. It's at Belmore. Adam. Boys are gelling together nicely. So, Tim, what's your favourite thing about the Bulldogs this year?
Can't go past the defence. Yeah, I'm loving the way they're defending. They're playing for each other. Yeah, you can just tell by watching them. Even in the games we've lost, I thought there were things that we were unlucky not to. We've definitely progressed, developed. The games against the Storm, the Panthers, those 2 games were like against you can tell that they're the top of the comp, for a reason. They're like, I thought we played very well in both of those games, Yeah. We're very unlucky not to win those games.
Yeah.
We're not far away from, if it's not this year, it'll be in the next couple of years. And that's what I feel anyway. Yeah. We've got a good juniors coming through. Mitchell Woods. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
Eventually, when he gets his chance. Yeah, looking forward to good times ahead.
Lots of good times ahead, mate. I think, it's about a club. It's about a top 30. One thing, if you watch the successful club, the Penrith Panthers, you understand that it's not about their best 17. Never hasn't been about that, and it never will be again. And that's why they continue to, whenever they lose a limb, they grow another one. And it's a 17-man game. I think a lot of our Bulldogs fans, like I've heard so many comments about, this player should be starting and this player should not be starting, and this player shouldn't be on the bench and all this sort of stuff. And I get it, but the game's changed. It's a 17-man comp. Yeah. Spencer Leniu, you remember how you don't start Spencer Leniu because he's a professional impact bench player.
Yeah.
And you win because he comes on and takes you to another level. It's the way the game is not the same. It's not. And Cameron Serrato and the Canterbury Bulldogs have proven that this year with what they've brought out. Now, Mark's talking about the Dogs have been a bit flat after the bye. It's actually been a bit of a story of the season for a lot of teams, Mark. A lot of teams have struggled after the bye with their result. We're a bit slow in the clunky in the game against Wests. The game against the Cowboys, though, I don't believe we were performed badly at all. I felt we were on top in that game. And, there was some real desperation in that game, and we should have won that game. So
50-50 calls hurt us.
Sutton got them all right in the first half. I couldn't complain about his first half performance. There was penalties that we did some dumb things in that game.
Yeah.
But we get two of those calls in the second half go our way and we win the game.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Mike, can you please put our team card for the Canberra game? Thanks, mate. It's actually scrolling down the bottom there, mate, but let's show it. Let's present it. Here it is. How's that showing on the screen there? All right, nice. So let's go through the team. Connor Tracy and KO Weeks. So KO Weeks very fast. He's finding himself with the Raiders. He is a dunce under that high ball. I'm expecting him to get peppered by Burton and Toby Sexton all game. So we've got Connor. Do you want to read him out for us?
Yeah, sure. So at fullback, you got Connor Tracy for the Dogs, Weeks for the Raiders. On the wings, you got Karaz, Rapana, Addo-Carr for the Dogs, and Savage for the Raiders.
Yep.
And in the centers, you got Sherry and Crichton, and for the Raiders, you got Tomoko and Chris. Chris is a strong boy. He's very physical.
He's coming back. He's been out injured or suspended or something.
And then in the halves, you got Burden and Sexton. And for the Raiders, you got Ethan Strange and Fogarty. Ethan Strange is a good player.
Very good player. And he's a player you wouldn't say no to. He did his homework and smashed Jacob Carraz twice, smashed a few of our players, and we dropped the ball and they scored points off it.
That's right.
Fogarty's kicking game's probably one of the most accurate and one of the longest in the comp as well.
In the front row, you got Josh Curran, Reed Marnie, and Samuel Hughes. For the Raiders, you got Papali, Starling, and Tapone. In the back row, we got Kikau, Preston, and Kurt Mann starting. Then for the Raiders, you got Hudson Young, Elliot Whitehead, and Morgan Smithies. He's added a lot to their team this year too.
Yeah.
On the bench, you got Bailey Haywood, Lipoi Hopoi, Curtis Moran and Harry Hayes. And for the Raiders, you got Danny Levi, Trey Mooney, who I thought was potentially coming to the Dogs, but mustn't happen.
And he played well against us too in that game that they won.
Yeah. Adam Mariota and Zach Hosking, who is a very good player they picked up from Penrith in the offseason. The extended benches, still a question mark on Addo-Carr, so Skelton may come back in, or they may decide to go with Wilson. We've got some depth there.
Liam Knight, Blake Wilson, Powasa,
Forsberg and Wilford haven't played a lot of game time this year. Yeah.
No, he hasn't. Remember that run he did in Magic Round last year, the first run of the set, and when they scored off the first set of the game?
That's right, I did. And I remember him being a Bulldog at one point too.
Yeah, they laid him out to us.
Yeah.
Albert Hopewadi, Will's brother. Yeah. Adam Cook, who's a half. Adam Cook's named in New South Wales Cup at halfback.
He's been a standout in New South Wales Cup. He's been a standout. Yeah.
Zach Wolford and Emre Gula, who was another one that was
linked to us.
Talked about in relation to us, like everyone.
How far away is Hutchison, do you think? He's coming back from a hamstring, is that right?
No, he played last weekend against the North Sydney Bears in New South Wales Cup, and he played quite well.
That's good.
We threw the ball around in that game too, and Joash.
Jordy Mazzoni, he's fast, mate. He's fast.
Well, we were down early, and Joash, Romano Cook took a bomb, and then Joash just give a pass out to Mazzoni in a bit of space, and he ran 90 metres. Great try.
Looked like an Eddinghausen play. Andrew Eddinghausen back in the day. He'd score a try like that. ET.
All right, let's look at the New South Wales Cup side. So we have Joash Papali, Maneri Fatiri, Jonathan Sewer, Albert Hopewadi, Semrani and Hayes Perham in the centres, Nick Kotrick and Mitchell Spencer the centres for the Raiders. Raiders are second on the ladder in New South Wales Cup, and I think we're third or fourth. Eli Clark on the wing with Jed Stewart for the Raiders. We've got Hutchison and Joey O'Neill in the halves up against Mitch Henderson and Adam Cook. Powasa, Jake Turpin. Now, I think that's supposed to be Jack Underhill, who was named, but he's not showing there in the official news site now. Zach Wolford and Corey Horsburgh. So that's a front row that was playing for the Raiders last year at different points. Kitione Katonga, Noah Lachlan Vale. Now, Lockie Vale is a very good player.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah,
he's been playing that. If you watch the young guy from the Dolphins, that Max Platt's son.
Yeah.
Or John Platt's son, Max. He reminds me a lot of him, the way he plays, very similar. Liam Knight named as a lock, and you've got Noah Martin, Simi Sasagi, and Hoipa Puru, the captain of the Raiders. Romano Cook, Joshua Marie, who's done a good job. Fami Tuilalo, who played on the weekend, and Daniel Saluka Fafita, who's been named 3 or 4 times but still hasn't debuted, I'm pretty sure.
I got to think he's going to debut this week. Yeah, he'll play this week.
And our Ron Messi Cup's been going all right. I think we've won, 3 of our last 5 or 6 or something, which is they're up to 4 or 5 wins. So they're improving as well. And there's a lot of SG ball kids. Seve's playing in what's it called? In the Ron Messi Cup. So you've got quite a lot of kids getting a go. They're basically just trying to harden these kids up and find out who's going to be a first grader. So for this club, it's not about winning New South Wales Cups or Jersey Flag trophies. They're nice. It's about developing first graders. And I heard that straight from the club on on Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, actually. Not naming names. All right. Talk to me, Timmy.
I like the makeup of both our teams. They look very strong. Yeah, we'll definitely where it's in the middle. You have to earn the right to play to the edges. I feel like if we can win the forward battle early, we can definitely get the job done.
Oh, buddy, I hope so, mate.
I'm predicting a close score, 1-12.
Yep.
I don't think it'll be anything like the Titans game earlier in the year at Belmore. I wish it was. It'd be good if it was. I think it'll be a lot closer this time around.
I felt we were really clunky in that game, even though we won 30-0.
Yeah. We missed a few opportunities.
Yeah. And they did too, but I think it was all the effort stuff. Like, I remember Villiamy absolutely
off the ball, terrorised their halfback. Yeah.
Their fullback, Keanu Kinney.
Yeah.
And Des has managed him well because he dropped in a reserve grade and then brought him back, and he's been one of their best. So Mark's had a little crack at our missed tackles. Have to be resilient when missing 50 tackles. Not all stats are the same. Not all tackles are the same. You need to learn the game. You should know the game. Being a former referee. Mark loves Jared Sutton. He loves all referees. Only joke. Bulldogs DNA. The Dogs of War are back and I love it. Dave loves how we're playing together and enjoying it. Me too, Dave. I wish they'd get rid of the buy round. Your thoughts, Michael? Thanks, mate. Get rid of buys completely would be nice. Hey, you're blind as a bat. Sorry about that, buddy. Mark says, you have the power, Aussie. Mark says Jack needed a week in reserves to prove his fitness. They're not playing. They don't put those guys in reserve grade, Mark. It's not how it works unless they're not good enough. There's no need to. It's a system.
If he is fit to go, then I think Wilson or Skelton will drop back to New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, look, they're either really trying to pull a Swifty because I think they're put in there because it's going to attract more attention from the kids in the community because he's the number one player for our fans and our young kids. He's the hero. Fox is the Benji Marshall of our club. Critta will take over that spot eventually and almost has. But maybe it's just, because you have him all there. But I'd say he'll play if they've done that. But you never know. Mike Cool, Rafael Nadal has only ever lost 5 out of the 117 matches at Roland Garros. Every time it happens, the NRL Minor Premier does not make it to the grand final. 09, 2015, 2021, and 2024. So Storm aren't. Well, there you go, Mike. Mike's all over it.
Well,
he's all over the historical statistics. I love it. I think Skelton should be 18th man. The thing is, Mike, is they want to keep him playing because he was 18th man, I think, 2 weeks ago. They want to make sure that they, rotate. So they'll probably make Wilson the 18th man. Unless they want to give someone in the reserve grade a run in the halves, they might put Hutchison into 18th man, but I doubt it. Damn, Mike, I thought I was a stats man. Mark's He's got 42 points on why we should win the comp. If the Fox breaks down, we are screwed. Yeah, but it's all hindsight. It's all I told you so bullshit. There's nothing to say that he can't play New South Wales Cup, then come in the next week and break down then. It's all hindsight. You've got to trust the system. You've got to trust the players in it. And all it does is every time we sit there and all these people are saying, oh, Skelton should be playing and Wilson should be playing, or either or both. Sorry, you're not leaving $1.3 million worth of cap out when they're proven in the big games. They're proven at the business end of the season. They're proven match winners.
You want your best team on paper.
You do. You want your best team.
Yeah.
The Fox gives that team greater confidence.
And the energy. And more energy, I think. More energy.
The team want him there. Why do you think he's always around the team? Even when he's injured and stuff, he's always there. It's not just him. They want him there, mate.
Yeah.
This is a club. This is a system. It's not, the coach points his finger and says, move in that direction, It doesn't work like that anymore. It's a different, things have changed. This club is about, 30 men or even more. It's about everyone in reserve grade, everyone in Jersey flag, everyone in first grade, all the coaches together. Everyone has a say. And Serrato makes the final decision, unless Gus says he wants to see something. You've always got the Gus, in him. What is it? The little Gus stipulation. Mike and I are besties. We are, mate. Or you are. Oh, you're besties with Mike. Mike, cool. Hey, Mark, the last time the Bulldogs played the Raiders in a 24-20 game was in 2004. The Bulldogs went on to win the comp in 2024. The Bulldogs and Raiders played a game to a 24-20 score.
Wow.
Adam wishes he could go watch this game. The last time the Bulldogs won the premiership was also the last time Roosters scored 30-plus points in 5 straight games. In 2024, Roosters scored 30-plus points in 5 straight games. The last time Bulldogs had 40,000-plus attendance against the Eels, they went on to win the comp in 2004. Was that round 1 against the Eels, Mike, when Sonny Bill Williams debuted? Very interesting, says Adam. This has become the Mike Cool show.
All right.
I have to get on here, mate. You're better than David bloody Middleton.
Get him on.
Yeah, well, Mark's favourite human being is David Middleton.
Middo.
In round 1784, the scoreline in the opening game was 15-14. Bulldogs then won the grand final as part of the pattern. In round 17, 2024, another pattern year, the scoreline in the opening game was 15-14. Was that who won 15-14 in the opening game? Was that the Panthers? Sorry, was that the Roosters over the Broncos, or was it? Yeah, that must have been Roosters. I thought South played Manly.
Yeah, South played Manly. No, Roosters played Broncos, but it wasn't 15-14.
No.
He's talking
Round
about
17. Round 7.
We beat the Sharks.
There you go.
Yeah, 15-14. Yeah.
This could be our year. Mike can feel it. I'm buying tickets to the grand final right now on his advice. Pete says, I think the side will remain unchanged, barring Fox's fitness with Skelton reserve. Yeah, me too, Pete. Me too, mate. They're stuck pretty strong to the system. Whoever plays the 18th, 19th man all depends on who needs the run.
Yeah.
Since 65, every time the Summer Olympics have been held in a year ending in 4, the Bulldogs have won the comp. the Summer Olympics are being held in 2024. Oh, mate. I'm going to message John Corey. Mike, you need a position, a social media. You need your own page. I'm telling you. You need your own page where you just post a stat every day.
Yeah.
And it'll get shared by the world. Pokemon's AU, g'day Pokemon. I'm the one who posted the Fox Wilson stats earlier on Facebook. Missed half the stream watching the new Deadpool. Laughable. I hope you're all good.
That's a very good movie, by the way. Very good movie. Go out and see it if you haven't already seen it.
Oh, you're the one who where is it? Pokemon. That's Matthew Johan. How you going, mate? Very good post. I liked it. Very good post. And Mark, I think Mark said that you had some other facts to consider or something, but he hasn't told us what they are yet. Hopefully Fox can stay healthy and prove a few people wrong. Time will tell. It always will, mate. But everyone's an expert in hindsight, aren't they? That's all I can say. Never doubt the Fox. That would be a big mistake. And the Bulldogs family loves the Fox. We do, mate. We love him. I love him.
Let's try it.
Jamie Teasdale, how you going, mate? I saw you earlier on the other podcast with Dibbo and that. We're talking about that a bit earlier. I don't think they like their new studio. It doesn't seem as good there, but anyway, it's better than being on a stream, I guess. Curran might be injured. Don't know how true. Hope he's good. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Josh Curran being injured, but next man up, as they say. We got the system's working. The system's working. Nobody's arguing with Mike, nor should they. That's because he's just given factual stats, Mark. He's not actually talking about stats which are out of context. They're in context. They're historical, factual event stats.
Very, very significant.
But they don't hold any relevance to what is actually going to happen. Hopefully they do.
Could potentially happen. Could potentially happen.
You know. Old Harry Garside, felt sorry for him today. Shout out to him. Panthers Manly. Yes. Are you Googling all this, bro? No, bro, I wrote it all down. Mike's the guru. Guru Mike. I love Mike too, Mark. I like a true statistician. I just want to read more. I'm just going through this, Mike. It's shut me up. I'm just reading what you got to say, mate.
It is very interesting. Yeah.
Timmy's loving it. They're all loving it.
Very statistical.
Game 3 was played on July 17th at Suncorp Stadium. The Bulldogs won the comp. 2024 Origin Game 3 is being played on the 17th of July at Suncorp Stadium. I've always loved the Fox. Me too, mate. Even at the Storm and that, I loved him.
The fastest
last time Queensland won Game 1 Origin Sydney, but then went on to lose the series. The Bulldogs played in the grand final. New South Wales have won Origin in every year ending in 4 since 94. 94, 2004, and 2014. They won the series in 2024, keeping their 4 pattern alive.
They did.
New Superman and Fantastic Four movies came out in 2005, the year following the Bulldogs' last premiership, with new actors for the roles. In 2025, both a new Superman movie and Fantastic Four movie are coming out. I could read them out all night.
That's true. Yeah.
Pokemon's Matt, he says the other stats were defence stats, were Addo-Carr tackle efficiency being 88.6 to Wilson 64.3. Yeah, that's a fair stat, mate. I don't really look too much at efficiency stats of wingers. I said this a lot last year when they've got a choice to make. Yeah. But I suppose if you got wingers coming in to shut down the play, and one thing that Fox has always had in his favour is he's been able to sort of slide and hang, and if someone gets around him, he's able to reel them in
or intercept it.
But I think what we want to see, and we did see a little bit, is the actual wingers coming in and shutting things down. But our centres have been doing that a lot more.
Wilson did on the weekend, where he raced out and tried to leap up and grab the ball, but he batted it forward.
Well, he did that as a Mel Magic.
Yeah.
Which has become every winger's forte now, which they used to always a lot of the time he used to get let go too, but it's pretty telegraphed. You could see him doing it. But now, even if you're going to tackle someone, the intent's to knock the ball while you're tackling them at the same time.
Yeah.
Mick, if I said the sky was green, you'd argue it's purple. Well, see, the response to that, just to prove your eyes, to say, no, I wouldn't. It's like when you tell people, you say, oh, you're such a defensive person. They go, no, I'm not. Hope Curran is okay. We need him, Pete says. Heard that he had a knee issue. Looking at the lineup, who goes into prop? Who do you think goes into prop, Timmy?
I wouldn't mind starting Hopboy.
You reckon? Give him a go?
Yeah, give him a go, yeah.
I probably don't agree. But that's all right.
Might
we don't have to agree.
Well, you did say...
Look, I definitely wouldn't be putting Harry Hayes in to start at prop. But Lipboy's done it in New South Wales Cup and he's lapped it up, you know. He's not huge.
No.
I'll tell you what I loved about him. The first time he tackled Jared Warrior-Hargraves, he absolutely smashed him. But Jared smashed Lipboy the next time he ran the ball up, even harder.
Yeah.
And said, you want to have a go at me, do you? I like that. I really like that. I think if Curran's out, Liam Knight's got to come in. And then the likes of Harry Hayes and Lipboy Hopboy play more minutes. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing in either Lipboy, Liam Knight or Palasa for Masili. One of those two, and backing them to do well in that opening exchanges and really put some big hits on. And do their families and us fans proud if they get the opportunity. That's what I expect.
Yeah.
Jamie says Fox brings energy. Sure does, brother. Last time Australian Rugby League was played in America was 2004. The Bulldogs went on to win the comp. The NRL played Rugby League in America to start the 2024 season. Look, all of us, if we haven't backed the Bulldogs and put a lot of money on the Dogs and they go and win the grand final this year, it's going to be like we would have sent, if we'd all backed the Bulldogs, we would have sent the gambling bloody places broke.
Broke, I reckon.
Put your house on the Bulldogs, the Touchline podcast was saying at the start of the year. They had those little funny ads they were doing. And Winston. Chiefs went back-to-back in the NFL in 2024. The last time this happened was when the Patriots did it in 2004 when the Dogs last won the premiership. I knew that one too. Mike's got to be on the next podcast.
Yeah.
AFL Anzac game draw in 2024. The last time that happened was 1995 when the Dogs won the comp in the ARL. Mike's too shy. You don't have to put your big head on. You can just put an avatar on, Mike, and just have a chat. It's up to you, buddy. Last time South sacked a coach midway through the season was 2004.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't stop. I know stats aren't everything, just sharing my 2 cents, laugh at that. Well, they aren't everything, but it's good to actually point out to people, especially people who like to use stats to sort of articulate their point. When you throw some stats at them, which suggests that Addo-Carr's done better. But I suppose what they'll say is that we've won more games with Wilson or something like that, which, you know.
Yeah. Or we had more points in this with Addo-Carr players or something. Yeah. Or we probably do have more points in this.
What do you think? Look, I think Blake Wilson, in his last 7 games, 4 of them he was getting crunched. He wasn't at his best, and he was a little bit off.
He has been carrying a bit of a niggling injury, I think. So he could be rested. We're doing the world of good if he gets rested. Yeah.
And he had that pneumonia as well, so
yeah,
it does take it out of you. But look, he's had some big games as well. So he had he played well against the Cowboys, played really well against the Eels, and was quite good for us last week.
Yeah,
I couldn't name a bad player last week though.
No, everyone was very good. Everyone contributed to that win.
Sure does, Adam. Hayes or Lipboy could cover. Yeah, well, I've loved Harry. He's been a bit of an animal in defence, and he's playing above his weight, and he's poking through the line.
Doesn't take a backward step.
Do a job on him once last week, but every other run he's had in first grade has been landing on his chest, quick play the ball through the line. History's repeating. Mike needs a podcast. He does, Jamie. That's what I'm saying. He needs a page and he needs a podcast.
He does.
I'll be subscribing. Didn't England play New Zealand in the US a few years ago in Denver? All hail, Mike. There's still more. Oh, my God, there's another 4 of them. I've got to show them and I've got to read them out. Jump on, Mike. We might all be Bulldogs, but we won't bite. When Bulldogs last won the comp, they were undefeated at home until round 10. In 2012, the Bulldogs were undefeated at home after round 10. He's just bragging now. Last time Bulldogs won the comp, they played Eels round 1 and Sharks round 2. This happened again in 2024. Yeah, but we won both those games in 2004. Bulldogs' last premiership was with a captain in his first year as captain, Andrew Ryan. In 2024, Critta captains the Bulldogs for the first time. In 2004, the Panthers lost the World Club Challenge in England. Bulldogs then won the comp. In 2024, Panthers lost the World Club Challenge in England. Before 2023, the Bulldogs last won Jersey Flegg in 2003. I remember that one. And they won the comp the next year. The Bulldogs also won Flegg in 1983, the year before the other win in the pattern of the 04-84. Jersey Flegg won in 23. Oh, my God. If you want me to stop, I'll stop. Yeah, I reckon we save a few for next week, Mike.
Yeah, we save some for next week. Jump on, I reckon. Jump on.
What's going to happen in this game against the Raiders, Timmy? You said it's going to be 1-12.
I think we'll start fast. The Raiders will try and come back. Our defense will hold them out. Yeah. We'll frustrate them out of the game, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, the tries they scored against us in that 24-20 win, 3 were off drop balls, pretty much.
I think we'll be a lot better. I think we won't be as error prone this time. I hope. But I feel like, we'll get out to a good lead early. They'll claw their way back. But we'll defend our lead.
I think you might be right, mate. Look, I think the only good try they really scored was they worked a really strong set through the middle, and they targeted Curtis Morin and Powasa. And, you know, they waited for that fatigue and that moment, got us on the back foot in the right part, and Hudson, and it was just all set. Then Trey Mooney, that try that was set up for Hudson's second try was Trey Mooney did 2 offloads in the set. I think he had 3 runs within 7 play the balls or something. And he got off a late offload on the ground to KO Weeks, who showed how good he can be. And then they went off and scored and did their thing. But, because Hudson Young got 2 tries, apparently he was the greatest player ever. But I thought that Canterbury just made some unrealistic characteristic errors in that game. As you said, I don't think we'll do the same.
Yeah.
Jacob dropped a couple of balls against the Cowboys again, I think. One led to a try. We've been punished so badly for some of our mistakes this year. It's been really annoying.
Yeah.
Jamie says 50, Raiders 12. Mate, I bloody hope so. Nothing would give me great.
It'd be nice if we did.
At Belmore, what a celebration that would be. Like, that would, if you thought this week hasn't been Canterbury coming, if we win 50-12 against the Raiders at Belmore, it's going to be a party. It's not going to stop for the rest of the season.
30 points to 22. That's my prediction. There you go.
30-22.
Yeah.
I don't want to let in that many points, mate. I think we'll play from behind against the Raiders, but like last week in the second half, that's when we'll get our football on. I don't know, mate. I've got a feeling we're going to do well against the Raiders this week. I've just got a feeling. It's been a while since I felt good before a game. So there you go. Aligned to the Dogs' pattern, Pacers have made the ECF every 10 years, in years ending in 4 since 1994. They made the Eastern Conference Finals in 2024, keeping their 4 pattern alive. Last time Bulldogs won a premiership, the NBA Conference Finals losers were Pacers and the Timberwolves. In 2024, Pacers and Timberwolves both lost the conference finals. Are you kidding me? So that would have been Kevin Durant time. Oh, not Kevin Durant. What was his bloody name? The ball fell from the Timberwolves.
Kevin Garnett? No?
Garnett. That's because I loved him when he came in. He was going to be the next Michael Jordan.
I've split between the Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. I don't know why, but
yeah, well, Josh Giddey's been transferred to Chicago.
Yeah.
Mike thinks it's going to be 36-12. That's got a nice ring to it, Mike. I like that. We're not going to let him more than 16 points. And Adam says from Aussie Prison Talk, 32-6 to the Bulldogs. So there you go. The Raiders are going to, I think, the tries they score, they're going to try and, do a lot of moving back and forth, a lot of crabbing across the ground, trying to find a way through. And I think they'll be looking to score points from kicks.
Yeah, kicking games will be very important, I think. Yeah.
They're going to try and kick long. I think the game plan will be similar from both sides. They've got some big boys in their team. They've got some meters in their team. They've got some determination in their team. Players like Jordan Rapana never give up. There's a lot to like about the attitude of the Raiders. They're dirty. They cheat. I hope the ref really penalises them heavily in this match for their grubbery. And we get to see the Bulldogs play some free-flowing footy because I think the Raiders are going to want to make it a stop-start game and have the Dogs coming off their own line as much as possible. And then they're just going to hunt and work for points and hopefully get some kicks in and some tries that way. Possession's going to be key for us. What's the weather supposed to be like out there?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. I'll give you a weather update.
Pete says, been a long drought against the Raiders. Belmore crowd is going to be worth 12 to 18 points. Plenty of points in fine, dry conditions with light winds and a close one. Oh, Pete answered me question before I'd even asked it. Thanks, Pete.
It's 20 degrees.
The last time Billy Slater lost a game 3-side, the Bulldogs won the comp. Last time the Bulldogs won the comp, Eminem released a new album the same year. In 2024, Eminem released an album. Hey, Pete, Mark says, I think we're behind at halftime. We're going to win handsomely. Kick-out needs a big game. This is what I want to talk about this again, Mark. I want to argue with you on this. You're trying to tell me Kick-out had a bad game on the weekend. So you just look at the stats and go, Kick-out had a bad game. So I know he missed his target a few times when he was doing the kick chase. It was the first one there.
He missed the tackle on Walsh. But, I thought he was. I'd give him like a 7 out of 10.
7?
6.5. 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Yeah.
I think that's the issue. I think people, when they see a player who's the highest paid player or second highest paid player in the club, they expect that they have to be. They rate them differently.
Every week, yeah.
You know, there was this guy I used to be friends with who every week, he basically just wanted us to have a team of reserve graders in that were worth $200,000. You know, he just falls in love with all the workhorses. Basically, a team of Kurt Manns. Now, Killer Kurt Mann is worth more than he gets paid. And he's called Killer for a reason, because he hits harder than people twice his size, right? Twice his size. But you need to understand there's a salary cap. They've got to spend the whole lot of it. And you've got to have these good players like Kikau in your side. The amount of work Kikau does, we wouldn't have scored half those tries if we had if Salmon was on that left edge on the weekend. What's your thoughts on that? Why do you think Kikau helped us? How do you think he helped us score so many points? Timmy?
He was able to shift the ball quickly to the edge. He was running those good lines, those decoy runs.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the main point. The amount of lines and decoys he runs in a match, it's all the stuff he does without the ball, which is why he's so important.
Yeah.
It's the stuff he does without the ball. That's where he makes his bread and butter. Players don't want to run at him. Players are looking out for him.
It's the same with Preston on the other side as well, though. You have that play that Reimani Preston have close to the line. They've done a lot of the times now, but where he draws in the defence and he puts Preston through.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And they're going to score points from behind that because people are going to anticipate that Preston play. Yeah. And Marnie's got, he's about 13 try assists in the comp.
Yeah.
Let alone hookers. He's been one of the best, and they've looked so simple, but it's just been based on tirelessly putting teams under pressure. And then, in both games against the Knights, they just cracked from plays like that from Reid Marnie close to the line, over and over again.
And great exponent of the 40-20 as well, I believe.
What was that?
Great exponent with the 40-20. You know?
He is.
Yeah.
And I actually like that he hasn't gone for it as much this year. He's actually been more just trying to turn the defence around.
Yeah.
He
did that on the weekend.
Yeah, really well. There's times under pressure where he goes for that 40-20 when it's like we haven't had the ball. We need to have a good run. And the game's still close. We don't need that miracle Hollywood moment.
Yeah.
That's in hindsight. That's me in hindsight. But, yeah, that's one thing that I'm critical of. But I think they've been so much more consistent and better with what they've chosen to do.
Yeah. And Burton's always thinking run first before he passes, which is what I like too, lately. You know, Burton's running more.
Just having more arguments with Mark. Salmon has played left edge this year, mate. And he can play left and right. just so you know. He can play
He's
both.
he's probably the forgotten man at the moment, but I feel like he's one guy that we would have liked to have had for this game this weekend against Canberra. As you're coming up against Hudson Young, he's an absolute workhorse.
The point I wanted to make in regards to Kikau was that if Kikau wasn't there on that edge, if we had any other, even Preston, we don't score as many tries down that side because because
the
Ezra
focus is on him.
And sorry, on the other side of the field, they don't animals and they're not as scared of Preston. They're not as scared of Salmon. So it changes the way they go into the contact, changes what they do. They're able to slide more because they know they're not worried if that person gets the ball. That's why Salmon actually got a couple of tries against the Dragons, because they just didn't expect him to come crab back across the field and step twice off the right, which he's done his whole career in different points of the season. And this is what I'm trying to say, Mark. Viliami Kikau, it's the stuff he does off the ball, which is why it's so important. And if you can't see that, you're not watching the rugby league game, and you don't know it the same way that I would suggest most of the clubs and coaches and people and the players themselves know the game. But anyway, I put money on a 32-6 Bulldogs win. I hope you put some money on it, mate. And I hope you're right. Marco. I'll agree with you, Mark. Kikau is a bit busted. Both his hands are smashed up. And he scores a try and he looks like he's sad about it. So he's in pain, that's for sure. Pete says conditions in place will suit us. They're a good side. It will be a cracker. Dave says he wants a crack at marking this. Watch the way Kikau defends. Anyone would want to play with someone like that. You're 100% right, Dave. Viliami Kikau is probably one of the best defensive players in the comp. It doesn't matter if he misses 5 tackles a game, Mark. Unless they're running at him and he rushes out of the line and they bust through our line. That's a problem. If he's doing that and being selfish or lazy.
It's the effort and intent that he plays with. I like that.
Well, the way he works from the inside out.
That's right.
Like, they have no room on our edges.
Yeah.
That's why they can't score points. That's why our wingers and our centres aren't being that's why everyone's saying our wingers and centres should be dropped and that they can't play, because they're not having to make too many decisions because they've got Viliami Kikau standing next to them.
Yeah.
How do you think? Oh, my God.
He's a bodyguard for Burden. He definitely is a bodyguard for Burden. He helps Burden out on that edge.
Exactly. And when he's not there, Burton's not as effective either. And I felt Burton's had a much better season defensively as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, Burton's running it more. That says to me, because he runs it more, he's got that threat on the edge. We kick out. When he gets through, if he even makes half a gap break, kick out's on the left of him,
Mark, the best thing you can do, Mark, is just watch replays and watch one player that way. And then if you go to a game and you're only focusing on one player, you're missing the game. That's an issue. So you're focusing on Kikau because you want him to actually prove to you that he's better than you think he is. Sorry, mate. He moved into the middle so he could make some tackles on the weekend because the Brisbane defence refused to run at him. They ran at Preston, who they probably felt was still underdone after being out for a while. And they ran at Toby Sexton thinking they were going to run over him. And what did Toby and Preston do? They tackled all day. Doesn't mean they were better than Kikau. They were the ones getting all the traffic. Sorry, I got a bit passionate against Mark, Tim.
That's okay. We love you, Mark. Thanks for the passion too.
Yeah, that's right. It's all love at the end of the day. We all love the Bulldogs.
That's it.
What number does Critta play? He plays number 4. If Critta were to win this grand final, how many premierships would he have? He'd have 4. But guess
magic
what?
number. The magic.
If he scores a try, it means that's his 5th try in 5 grand finals.
Actually,
we found out today. There's a good interview with Max King. I think on SEN or something. On the run home with Joel and Fletch. And Max, his father's Johnny King. And Johnny King holds a record for scoring 6 tries in 6 grand finals, and he actually scored seven tries in 7, but he got a double in one of them. So it was one of the games he didn't get a try. Yeah.
That was for St. George teams, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Max King's grandfather, I should say.
Yeah.
So he's blue. He's a blue blood.
Very good.
He hasn't scored a try though in his career.
A few weeks ago, I was at the shops. You know the Lions Club, or these people that do like the spin the wheel. You get the
Rotary Club.
Yeah, a bit like that. Box of fruit. We went in the draw. Me and my mum were at the shops.
Yep.
I picked the numbers. There's a few numbers with 4 on the ticket. Guess what? We won. There you go. So the magic number is 4, guys. Number 4.
Magic number is 4. The magic number is 4. Burton and Sherry cover his misses. Oh, here we go. But Sherry's not supposed to be in the side, is he, Mark? According to you. He gives them confidence. He sure does. If you're crediting kick out for the weekend, you need something. Mate, this is what you don't get. If you have a player like Kikau in your side, it's like when Tony Carroll was next to Lockyer. Teams were afraid to run there.
You don't mess with the big boy.
When someone slams you and hits you hard, they don't want to go your way. Or teams target the side they think is going to be a defensive weakness, or where they think they've got the best chance of scoring. They didn't think that was against Philly Army Kick-Out side this weekend.
I will say Reece Walsh definitely didn't want to run Preston's way after getting crunched.
No. And it's funny because they did go the left-hand. They did score on our left-hand side a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
One was from a long range, which was ridiculous.
Burton
was on the right-hand side of the field. It was right on the other side of the field when it's happened, basically.
Yeah.
And then it was off a scrum as well, which,
Yeah. Players in the scrum.
When we're talking about in general play, playing up and down the field in their positions,
yeah,
they're not scoring many tries on our left or on our right. They were scoring them all down the right at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But anyway. And they scored through a kick out. I'll just explain that, mate. Critta will beat him. We'll make the grand final in 25 and 26. Yeah, Mike. Like 1984 to 1986. So does that mean Penrith are going to beat us in 2026? If history does repeat. And I wonder who the other team would be that we play in 2025. To line up with 1985.
Roosters.
Yeah?
Yeah, Roosters.
Yeah, the Dragons hadn't won for a while, had they? They made the grand final in 79. I think it'd be the Roosters because they won in 2019. There you go. Mate, nobody will be glad if they're married to me, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you love a bit of Mike, but no Mick. You don't like the Mick, but you like the Mike, mate. Always excuses, never accountability. Accountability to what? Accountability to what? I don't get it, mate. I want you to learn something. I want you to embrace what I'm saying. Why is
We're a half glass full kind of people here. Come
on. I'm fill my cup right up, mate. Like, honestly.
Yeah, can't fill it anymore.
How can you sit there and say Viliami Kikau has had a bad game?
He must be still thinking he's another Tony Williams. I don't know. But he's definitely not Tony Williams.
Well, Tony Williams used to throw an arm out half the time.
A lazy arm.
You know?
Yeah.
A lazy arm.
Yeah.
I can tell you now, if those players got to choose who was in their side, they're all choosing big Kikau over everyone else.
Yeah.
In their forward back. He'd
be the first play pick for the new team in Perth.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
You reckon Kicks is going to go to Perth?
Nah. If we end up back at Penrith.
YouTube boxing match, Jamie Teasdale. Nah, mate. I'm a lover, not a fighter. What's Timmy reckon?
What does he want to know?
Oh, he just wants someone to agree with him because nobody really ever does.
Yeah. He hasn't been at his 100% best the last 2 weeks, so I'll agree with him.
I agree with that.
But I think this week, I think he's going to turn up. The fact that it's at Belmore on a Sunday afternoon in front of the big crowd, mainly Bulldogs fans, I think he's going to turn it up this week. He's going to terrorise Fogarty this weekend. Just you watch.
And I think that's the thing. I think people want to see that every week. Kick out, terrorising the halfback or the fullback or somebody. And kick out, busting through holes and running the ball.
Everyone's referring back to that round five game against the Roosters. What he did back then. That was a long time ago. He's still very consistent. There's not much between a good game and a bad game with kick out.
Yeah.
Like he's usually a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Yeah,
it depends how you rate him. I always rate him around a 7. And that's all I want. Because, as
you've got other players around him that do the job for you as well.
Gordon Tallis used to average 8 runs a game. And he used to average about 17 tackles a game. And he wouldn't score every game. He'd probably score in about 3 or 4 games a year. Might get a double sometimes. He's just the stats didn't mean nothing when it come to Gordon Tallis. But he was a hard man, and everyone didn't want to run at him. They didn't want to mix it with him. When he hurt his neck, they started doing that. That's why he went out and bashed bloody, what's his name?
Ben Ross.
Ben Ross, yeah. He actually told me that in person, that one. Really good bloke, though, and it's what I mean. It's horses for courses. It's about the complexity of the game, how it all works out. Yeah. I don't think he's behind the 8 ball, but I think his main role and main focus is to be there to be a great diversion, a great decoy, and someone that opposition attacks don't really want to go to, and that's what happens generally.
Yeah.
Why do you think we haven't conceded over 30 points in a game? Why is it 16?
Yeah.
I can tell. If you go and ask any coach, anyone in the know, they're going to tell you Viliami Kikau's got a lot to do with that.
One thing I was going to ask you, I haven't seen many penalties blown lately for the downtown rule. I think teams have started to figure that out.
Yeah, that's it. Funny story, I was born 2 days before the Broncos versed us in the prelim in 06. My dad told my mum that if we go to the grand final, me, almost 2 weeks old, would have almost died from the dog supporters. Oh, mate, that prelim, we had that game won.
Yeah,
Fucking
half-time.
Sean Berrigan.
Yeah. I remember that game very well. Don't know how we lost that game.
What a good player Sean Berrigan was.
One of our halves went off injured in that game too. Is that right?
Holdsworth.
Holdsworth, was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
he was our first choice at the start of the year too. He was our first choice.
He's a Perth boy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think he coaches with the Sharks at the moment.
He does, yeah. Yeah.
He would have taken me to the grand final though if he had won, yeah. You're 100% right. Kikau did lose his dad last year and he had no pre-season because of the World Cup. He struggled a lot and suffered a lot. 100%, mate. Exactly. Haven't conceded more than 16, nothing to do with Kikau. Honestly, Mark, that's fucking bullshit. So you think if he wasn't in the side, they wouldn't have conceded more than 16? Mind my language, everyone, but that pisses me off to hear that. To sit there and say that Kikau has had nothing to do with our defensive conceding 16 points is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying we would have lost games we won either, because it is a team effort. But bloody hell. I don't know how many people agree with you, Mark, but you're wrong. I'll tell you now, you're wrong. Dave, team effort to win like they did. People like Kikau guide them to be successful and other senior players. Yeah, it is the next man up, and that's what we're building in the club. And that's why you have a player like Viliami Kikau as the door that needs to be broken down. And if he wasn't there leading the way, we're not as successful as we are. It's as simple as that. Because I've heard you criticise Serrato a lot through the year, but it's like you just give all the praise to the players that are on little money, that are in reserve grade. You give it all to the next man up people. They're the reason why we've done so well this year. The credit has to go to the club, has to go to everybody. It's been a team effort, a club effort. And I'm sick of players being bloody having, stuff teared off them. But anyway, it's good for the fans when me and Mark have little fights. Sorry, Mark, but you're pretty wrong. I don't agree, Mark. Kikau is fantastic. You can't credit one man. No one's crediting one man. What did I say? It's a fucking club.
It's the system. Everyone's following the same system. If Kikau wasn't there, it'd be Preston and it'd be Hayes, Hayes has been very good.
Yeah. Well, he's going to step up and try and do the job, just like Salmon. We had Salmon and Man, and then Hay would come in. Look, I get that.
I definitely think, even with Kurt Mann not there for a few weeks, we definitely missed him. But Bailey Haywood has been doing a very good job since he's come into the side.
Did a great job. I think we're better, though, with Kurt Mann in the side.
100%.
And if Salmon come...
That's what experience brings. That's what experience brings to a team, though, Kurt Mann's very experienced. He's been around. He's been with successful clubs like the Storm. He knows what winning looks like. Kikau's done that as well. He's been with Penrith. He knows what winning looks like. We might not win every week, but there's a system that they follow.
I think they'll bring Salmon back, and then they'll drop out Harry Hayes. That's how it'll work. Or they might go, look, Harry's got to keep his spot. Salmon and Man can play the lock role. Bailey Hayward goes back to New South Wales Cup. That may happen. We don't know, but whatever they do, we've just got to embrace it and support it and stop trying to tear holes in everything.
Yeah.
The amount of people carrying on, the Fox is going to just shouldn't be in the side and all this. It just drives me nuts. No one's assigning success to one player, Mark. I'm sitting there telling you reasons why a player of his, of how important he is to our side. It's about the building blocks. He's part of those building blocks and the framework that's setting the pace for these young kids to put pressure on, to knock the door down. I'm not going to say we win or lose any games without those players, but our job's a lot harder without Viliami kick-out. But players have proven, as Timmy just elaborated on, they will step up and do the job.
Yeah.
And that success has to be attributed to the system in place and the people that have been hired, the people that have been fired, that have all been brought together under this system.
You definitely look at someone like Luke Vella. He was our Jersey Fleet coach last year. He's coming into the coaching first grade this year, I think he's done a very good job. He knows what the young players can bring to the footy club, This has been around them for a while.
What a great story.
Josh Jackson, he's coaching our Jersey Fleet side. He knows what winning looks like. He's been with the club through thick and thin as well, He's bringing the next generation of Bulldogs through. Yeah. That's my opinion.
100%, mate. He lives and breathes, is a living and breathing example of what we're talking about with this system. He's got the belief, he's got the hearts and minds of the young people in it. It's sort of a little bit like Serraldo years ago with the 2015 side. They trusted him, those young kids coming through, and then he was there as part of their journey through to first grade. And Luke's similar with some of these young guns like that he's had a lot to do with that are coming through. The Harry Hayes,
Hayward,
the Lip Boy Hot Boys,
And I do think Joe Ash is not far away. Joe Ash Papali'i, he's not far away either. Him and Eli Clark, they're not far away. But we're starting to down.
I'm so impressed by his defence and the way he gets in. He's really consolidating himself as being able to defend against men in New South Wales Cup.
Yep.
And he'll get his chance because they love the way he goes about it.
Yep.
He's all attitude. He's all effort. And that when I talk about big kick-out and stuff, I just talk about their effort. Yep. He's always leading the kick chase. He's always trying to be the first man to make things happen.
He won't let you down.
He's not letting anyone down. And he's a living and breathing example of a leader who's done it all in the game that our young guys want to follow and jump on board with. And that's the point we're trying to make.
Yeah.
And 99% of people are going to agree with it because it's the truth. I'm not talking about his Hollywood moments when he did well against the Roosters in that game. I knew that wasn't going to happen every game. It was great to see.
It was probably even just one half of football that he destroyed them, really.
Yeah.
I go back to that game. It wasn't a perfect game either. We still didn't play very well the second half. But you can see what he do when he's at his best. So
players like that are important because they do ice moments for you, and they do create so much in a game that helps you to go on and win. But it's not a one-man show. There's so many different elements, and it goes to Josh Addo-Carr, it goes to Jacob Carraz, it goes to Jacob Preston, it goes to Toby Sexton. There's so many moments in the game.
The good sides talk about how they find different ways of winning. That's where
Yeah. Anyway, I reckon We've had a good chat on here tonight. Been lots of passion in the debate, and I always welcome Mark to put his points forward and for me to argue with him because it fires me up, and I like getting the blood flowing. I tell you what, you want your blood to flow, especially when you're sitting on your ass for 2 hours doing a podcast.
Thanks, Mark.
You're not blockages, that's for sure.
Love you, Mark.
I love you too, Mark, and I love you, Timmy. And I'm really sad that Dane hasn't come on. He hasn't even sent me a text message.
It's okay. Maybe he got held back at work or something.
Oh, he'd just be watching the Olympics or sleeping and waiting to get up so he can watch it in the morning.
Shout out to my mum. It's her birthday on Thursday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Mummy Timmy.
I'll let her know.
Mummy, bro.
Thanks, mate.
Mark says he loves it, Timmy. Jamie Teasdale, Daniel Saluka Fafita playing cup. Yeah, I hope he does, mate, because that'd be really good to see.
Crossed. Need some size up front. Maybe the next couple of weeks, maybe.
Take care, Adam. Thank you so much, mate. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Oitikimanu, before we go. Tim, what's your thoughts?
Yep. I think he brings some quality to the forwards. I'm actually looking forward to the other signing that we've got coming next year, Amon. Tom Amon.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to some bulk up front. And the signing of Tupanua, he's a really good signing too. He'll again add some more variety to our back row. Yeah.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. I think we don't need to look for a halfback. I think we keep flying our trade along there and adding that extra dominance on the edge is going to be good, and having that extra depth is going to be fantastic. And the young guys if the young guys prove themselves and get an opportunity and prove the coaches wrong that they should be getting the better contracts and stuff, that's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. And Gus is happy to move on the ones being paid the big money if they're not, if the people behind them are outdoing them. But outplaying a seasoned superstar isn't done in a handful of games. Oh, g'day, Putty.
Tilly says,
is that your link to the Panthers?
No. Mum's cat.
Mum's cat. Yeah, I've got a tortoiseshell in there called Blossom.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, do they wake you up at 3 o'clock every morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just fed them, but they forget that they get halfway through, get bored, and then want you to feed them again?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thanks for having me on, Mick.
My pleasure, mate. Thanks for coming on, buddy. I'm happy to get Oitikimanu. If we don't get him, we don't get him. We get him. I'll trust the system. See you later, everyone. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.
Have a good week.